Hi again, welcome to the third and final installment of importing 3D DWG solids into Autodesk Inventor. We've had a look at bringing single components into Autodesk Inventor via DWG, but we want to now have a look at bringing in assembly data. So this is an AutoCAD DWG solid, 3D solid that contains multiple solids, and we want to bring that into Inventor. Now there's a couple of ways we can go about this, but the quickest and easiest way is really to use the DWG import wizard. Again, select all of the solids, just leave the tick in the all selection filter, but take the tick out of solids to single part file. And what this will do is take each of the AutoCAD DWG solids and put it into its own individual Inventor IPT part file and then build the assembly for us. So as you can see on screen now, we've got an Inventor assembly file which contains 3 components, 3 part files, which all have a base feature. So again, you can use the feature recognition tools on them, and we can edit these and work with these and detail these individually as required. But what about if we work with that 3D AutoCAD data, and again we bring this in, but rather than bringing it into single part files, we bring this into an assembly. Now obviously the quickest way to do this is to bring it into an assembly file in the method that we've just looked at. But let's just go through that import wizard once again and just have a look at changing one of the options. So we'll go through that DWG DXF import wizard. Seen this a few times over the 3 videos, so hopefully you'll all get to know this quite well. Again, leave the tick in the all selection. But this time we're going to leave the tick in solids to single part file. And if you remember looking at part 2 of this series, what we'll notice is that everything comes in as a composite. So we're in a single part file. Each of the AutoCAD solids has been grouped together as a composite. Now if we copy this to the construction environment, what we'll see is that it actually builds and stitches everything together for us automatically, where we can then just copy this back out of the construction environment. But you'll notice that we've got an extra option now. Because it recognizes multiple solids, we've got an option to build this as a multi-solid single part file inside of Inventor. So down on the left hand side there in the browser tree, you can see that we've got 3 base solids. One for the top plate, one for the bottom plate, and one for the structural section in the middle there. Now again, we can edit these using the base edit tools that we've got inside of Autodesk Inventor. But again, what if we work on this and we edit this as a single part file, but then we want to take this out to an assembly? Well, we can use the Make Components tool, which is on the Manage tab. And what this will allow us to do is select each of the 3 solids and then automatically have Inventor build the assembly for us of this. So it will build 3 single Inventor part files, 1 for each solid. We can specify the bill of materials structure, so we're going to specify that that structural steel section is purchased. And Inventor will go and build the assembly file for us. So now what we've got is an assembly file which contains references to 3 components. Those 3 components were originally a composite, which we then converted to base solids, and then we use the Make Components tool to build the assembly. This now allows us to work on these components as you would expect to use an Inventor. We can add fillets, we can add chamfers, holes, extrusions, etc. Everything that you would expect to do with a standard native Inventor file. This is a great example of how we can reuse 3D AutoCAD data inside of Inventor.